Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
A preschool in Lincoln County continues to recover from a devastating fire. Their community and those outside this community are lending a huge hand to help.
No, never seen nothing like that before. It was scary.
People in a Lexington neighborhood woke up to a big surprise this morning. Police say a hit-and-run driver damaged several cars.
And a new ramp on the Mountain Parkway opened today. We'll tell you why some people are celebrating. WKYT News at 5:30 starts now. Good evening. Weeks after a fire destroyed a Board of Education building and preschool classrooms, dozens of children still don't have a place to return to school.
But education officials in Lincoln County say mobile classrooms are coming and classes are scheduled to resume next month. WKYT's Phil Pendleton reports on how the community is showing support. That's our top story at 5:30.
The August 6th fire was literally hard to watch for many in Lincoln County.
And I think what was so devastating to me was watch their faces as they saw their classrooms.
Teachers who had just spent all summer preparing for the new year suddenly had to start over, but they've had lots of help.
It's just been amazing, the donations.
$20,000 alone came from the middle school. Others gave from all over the state.
You know, gotten lots of crayons, markers, glue sticks, all those kinds of things.
The school will start back October 20th. Double-wide modular units will be set up behind the board office on what used to be the Stanford High School football field.
We're hoping to have those in here by the 1st of October.
Although school won't start for nearly another month, children do have options for some early learning.
Our staff has started actually bringing our children into our local library, doing some activities with them just to make that connections with those children.
The fire destroyed every preschool classroom. Only a few things on one computer was saved. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The Lincoln County Board of Education is scheduled to meet tonight. One of the items on the agenda is the progress of the preschool. Police say a Lexington woman is responsible for a string of hit and runs. Around 5:30 this morning, officers found at least 7 vehicles damaged on Malibu Drive. One had a broken side view mirror. Many of the cars had tire damage. Police have now cited that woman. A woman who lives in the neighborhood tells us she woke up to the sound of grinding metal.
I heard a second loud noise like a hit, but the second hit was metal grinding.
Lexington police have not released the driver's name. We're told that when they arrived at the scene, they found the woman inside her home. Police cited her with leaving the scene of an accident and driving without insurance.
In our county-by-county coverage at 5:30, we're tracking stories out of Knott and Estill counties. In Knott County, we have a scam to tell you about. Police are encouraging people to use caution before giving donations to people going door to door asking for money. We're told a man is asking for money for the Knott County Rough Terrain Rescue Squad.
If anyone comes to your door soliciting money, if they don't have proper credentials, a photo ID, acting suspicious, what have you, have any questions whatsoever, the proper thing to do is not give them any money at all.
Police say the man asking for donations was heavy-set and in his early 30s. Officials with the rescue squad say they do not ask for donations by going door to door. In Estill County, Irvin police wrapped up a 2-month drug investigation today. Police arrested 32 people in connection with drug trafficking in Irvin and Ravenna. We're told the people are charged with trafficking a controlled substance, trafficking within 1,000 feet of a school, among other charges. Kentucky State Police helped with the arrests.
It is hard to complain about this beautiful weather, and Saturday, perfect for UK fans headed out to Commonwealth Stadium this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at your forecast. Chris?
Yeah, you pretty much said it all, my man. There isn't a whole lot to add to the gorgeous stuff that is out there other than to just show you what we are missing for those of us who are cooped up indoors. Here's our Frankfurt cam right now with a mostly sunshiny sky across the state capital of Kentucky. Temperature-wise, into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees in the Bluegrass region, northern Kentucky, eastern Kentucky. Now that the sun is getting lower on the horizon, obviously with the mountains, those valleys will begin to cool down a little earlier because we're getting the shade a little earlier than folks across the Bluegrass country where the land's a little flatter. Upper 70s to around 80 into much of central and southern parts of Kentucky. Here's live first alert. Defender continues to come back with a very dry sweep. Our weekend, though, on the way, and it is going to start out very warm in most areas. Changes start to show up by Sunday. The extent of those changes will be the big difference between a little bit of shower action and a little more in the way of some heavier rains. We'll show you just how close we come to some heavier rains on Sunday when I come back in just a bit.
Thank you, Chris. The much anticipated completion of the Mountain Parkway expansion is bringing excitement to eastern Kentucky. Today, one section opened up to traffic getting on and off at Kentucky 974. But it turns out the project won't be quite as expensive as officials anticipated. The project came out $40 million under the original price tag. Governor Steve Beshear says engineering improvements led to a reduced budget.
Everybody knows what happens when you have the equivalent of an interstate running through your area. Development happens, businesses locate, things start happening, it becomes a vibrant area.
The governor says another part of improving the economy of eastern Kentucky is bringing broadband internet to the area.
After a successful 2014 season, Kentucky Kingdom is adding several new attractions. Those additions are expected to cost more than $30 million. They're also increasing the number of days they'll be open. This year they were open 94 days. Next year they plan to stay open 110. And that's not all. They're also expanding their hours. They'll be open longer during the day. The park hopes that all of these factors will attract customers from places like Indianapolis and Nashville.
That gets you more rides, it gets you more water, it gets you more hours. That adds up to more fun. And that's what it's all about.
Kentucky Kingdom's last day for this season will be this Sunday. They say they've seen almost 600,000 visitors this year. Construction on the new rides expected to begin soon.
Today, people from across Kentucky are remembering the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. A ceremony in Frankfort recognized Vietnam veterans who are still living and honored those who didn't return home. The event was filled with patriotic music and stories about the war. The Commissioner of Veterans Affairs says they've identified 116,000 Vietnam veterans living in Kentucky.
As the daughter of a disabled Vietnam veteran, today is a special day, not only for a child of a veteran, but for all of those veterans and family members. We even have some of the South Vietnamese veterans who fought alongside those men and women here today as well.
The ceremony wrapped up inside the Kentucky Vietnam Veterans Memorial with the laying of the wreath.
It feels warm today, but sooner or later that forecast will eventually turn to much cooler weather, even colder in the mornings. Our good question, what precautions should I be taking to make sure that my heating system is safe for the upcoming winter? The Lexington Fire Department Community Services Officer says it's never too late to do the following to keep you and your family safe as winter approaches. Install a carbon monoxide alarm in your home. Ashes that are cooling should be stored in a closed container at least 10 feet from your home. Change the furnace filter. Plug only one space heater into an electrical outlet and don't use an extension cord with it. Keep space heaters at least 3 feet from anything that can burn, and generators should be moved away from doors and windows. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.
People in Lincoln County are getting a second chance. Coming up at 5:30, we'll tell you about a new program that gives adults the opportunity to head back to school.
I'm Bill Bryant. A tough battle is underway for control of the Kentucky State House, and a candidate for the U.S. Senate refuses to name a thing her opponent has done for Kentucky in 30 years. The bottom line is ahead.
Then, coming up at 6, a health problem a lot of people deal with. Tonight, a Lexington woman talks about how she finally found relief from her painful migraines.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
With the election just over a month away, the fight continues between Democrats and Republicans for control of the Kentucky House of Representatives.
And Attorney General Eric Holder resigned today. Bill Bryant has the bottom line.
Good evening. Control of the Kentucky House of Representatives is on the line in the coming November election. Democrats have held a majority since 1921, and Republicans need just a handful of wins across the state to wrest that power away. But Democratic Speaker Greg Stumbo thinks that's not only unlikely, he is predicting his party will gain seats and add to their majority after the election. Republicans think they can pull it off. Stumbo and House Republican Whip John Carney will appear for this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers, and we'll discuss the issues. U.S. Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes appeared on Kentucky Sports Radio this morning and answered political questions from host Matt Jones. He asked Grimes if Senator Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, has done anything good for Kentucky in 30 years. And she wouldn't name one. Grimes wouldn't give an inch and said that McConnell may have gone to Washington with the best of intentions, but has not served the state well. She said McConnell has failed to deliver for Kentucky and has, quote, gone Washington. Jones says he hopes that McConnell will appear on his program soon and secured a promise from Grimes to debate McConnell if the senator agrees to that. The resignation of Attorney General Eric Holder today, sure to stir up talk and debate just weeks ahead of the election. Holder made a quiet visit to Lexington just last Friday when he visited with the U.S. Attorney Kerry Harvey and the Western District's chief prosecutor in Louisville. Holder says he will stay on the job until a replacement is confirmed. That could take a while since it requires Senate approval. And the campaigns are busy trying to get new voters registered. Kentucky's registration deadline is Monday, October 6th. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A program that gives adults a second chance at an education was recognized today. People came together in Stanford at Grace Fellowship Church for Adult Literacy Day. Education leaders say the program has resulted in numerous stories of people finding new career opportunities after earning their GEDs. Nearly 400 students are using the program.
There's not many places that will hire you without a diploma or a GED, so yeah, it's very helpful in getting a job and a career, and also leading you on the path of going to school.
The Lincoln County jailer says many of his inmates have been able to take advantage of new opportunities because of the adult education programs available.
The Kentucky Wildcats preparing to take the field against Vanderbilt this weekend. Coming up in sports, we'll have a preview of the game.
And a lot of Wildcat fans would like for this nice weather to hold pat right on through game time. We've got the weekend forecast when I come back.
They see child abuse every day, and now they're reminding parents that they're here to help. Coming up, you'll hear from the Nest.
I'm Victor Puente in Lexington, where another security breach involving credit card information has experts advising customers to keep an eye on their accounts. At 6, I'll tell you who might be affected.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and First Alert Defender.
We are looking good in the neighborhood all across the region. Sunshine again today. Those temperatures on the mild side, borderline warm right now across Kentucky. Sun in Covington, Jackson, Richmond, Frankfort, Lexington, each and every stop in between and all around. Live First Alert Defender continues with a quiet sweep, though we'd have a little more cloud cover today than what we've been seeing over the past several days. Southeastern Kentucky getting in on a few more of those clouds. A little bit of cloud cover into the western part of the state. It's one of those setups that as we go deeper into our weekend, it's going to try to spit out a shower or two into parts of the region. Not so fast, though, for your Friday. How about temperatures tomorrow morning that will be a little warmer than what we've been waking up to over the past couple of days? Low 50s translating into the upper 70s to around 80 tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly sunny skies. We look good tomorrow night for high school football fans. Zone-by-zone breakdown of your Friday forecast. Very close to 80 across most of the Bluegrass region. Likely a low 80 showing up into most of southern Kentucky, upper 70s to around 80, with a little more in the way of some clouds in the southeastern parts of the state. Last but certainly not least, stop here into northern Kentucky from Moorhead, Carlisle, back into Owenston and Covington, upper 70s to right at 80 degrees. Hour-by-hour breakdown will take you into the start of your weekend. 11 o'clock this evening, temperatures only upper 50s and low 60s. Now, the past couple of nights during that time, we've seen a few spots well down into the 40s. That's not going to be the case at 11 this evening. We'll be hard-pressed to get below 50 tomorrow morning. Quick rise into the low and mid 70s by your lunchtime hour. 5 o'clock, that's when we can officially call it the start of the weekend around here tomorrow afternoon. Right around 80. A little bit of those ice crystal clouds continue to stream in from southwest to northeast, and that's a milder and an even warmer flow out at Commonwealth Stadium. Look at that on Saturday, noon kickoff, right around 74 degrees, partly sunny skies. During the second half of the game, little thin overcast may try to develop with those temperatures around 80. And look what the model is doing across western Kentucky, trying to spit out a sprinkle or an isolated shower. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on, especially for Sunday and Monday. Tonight, 52 degrees, not as cold. Maybe a little valley fog near the waterways tomorrow morning. High 70s to around 80 on your Friday forecast. Rubber stamp it. Let's throw it again your way on Saturday, 80. Smallest chance for a late day shower. Better chance across southern Kentucky Sunday into Monday with a system that looks like it wants to mainly impact southern Kentucky and the Tennessee Valley, though anyone is fair game for a shower or two. We'll keep an eye on it. Middle and end of next week, upper 70s to around 80. I do think the end of next week is going to get very, very windy as a big cold front makes its way across the Plain States toward Kentucky. But now that wind will be a warm wind initially. I think 80 is a good possibility during the first couple of days of October.
So a bit of the warm still hanging out, right?
Yeah, summer not going down without a fight this time, you know?
Okay, thanks, Chris.
All right.
So to check things out, there's a collision at Russell Cave in the Circle. It is in the intersection right now, which is causing issues all the way around on the north there. It's open on the inner loop of New Circle approaching Russell Cave. Outbound Newtown Pike, we've cleared the crash at Citation, and right now we're okay in the interstate. Now back to you in the studio.
To become a WKYT Live driver and download the Waze app, go to WKYT.com. Under the News tab, click on Traffic for more information.
Rob's up next, and this week, EKU gets a break.
No game Saturday. The Colonels off to a great start. How does Coach Dean Hood feel about taking a bye? And UK quarterback Patrick Tolles on his young receivers. The Cats' passing game is a strength. Sports is next. The Kentucky Wildcats should have all the motivation you could ask for to come out and beat Vanderbilt Saturday. A conference losing streak that stands at 17 games, and Vanderbilt's won the last 3 over Kentucky, 22-6 last year in Nashville. The Cats have only scored 14 points against Vandy over the last 3 seasons.
We don't need any more motivation than that. I mean, the fact that we haven't won an SEC game and, you know, they just told us the score between us and them the past few years is pretty bad. But, you know, this is a new team. That's the thing. We're a new team. We've got new players, we've got new mentality, a lot more confidence, and we're ready to go out and play.
The Vandy coaching staff came to Nashville from Stanford, where the Cardinal defense was geared around stopping the rush. On Saturday, the UK may have to rely more on the pass. That was once a question mark for the Cats, but the UK receiving corps is now strength.
They're getting sharper on the routes, and they're also getting smarter. That comes with experience and stuff. And they've played, 3 big-time college football games. So they've recognized what works and what doesn't work, and they're starting to cut off some stuff, and it's really, really helping.
It's more detail-oriented things that they're getting better at. And we've been pretty simple so far, but they're getting better. They're getting better. Like really during the bye week, we really concentrated a lot on blocking. So I hope we see that when we suit up on Saturday.
Kentucky and Vanderbilt will kick it off at noon Saturday. It'll be televised on the SEC network. At 4-0, EKU is off to one of its best starts in more than 20 years, only one of 11 unbeaten FCS teams. The Colonels are rolling on offense. They've piled up more than 500 yards of total offense in 3 of their 4 games. Dean Hood's team has the week off with an open date before getting back to action next week against Austin Peay. Hood says the week off will help his team.
Got a 1-0 start in the conference. We just started getting guys nicked. Heck, we were dang near perfect the first 3 games. Then going into Martin, all of a sudden, we had 6 or 7 guys, dinged up, 3 or 4 guys out that we weren't anticipating, and so it's really coming at a good time where we can, concentrate, get better at fundamentals, get our guys healthier, and get even more ahead of the game conditioning because we're gonna run them hard.
And today, Mark Stoops was talking about his quarterback, Patrick Tolles, and how far he's come since he first saw him in December of 2012. Have that in the next half hour. Stay with us here on WKYT.